16 minutes gone past 5. In a bit, it's going to be 17 minutes, actually. All right, it's 17 minutes past 5. My name is Constance Mega. All right, so let's talk about maritime safety. I mean, we're talking safety on the waterway. Just recently, it's in our news, yesterday, Monday, about 10 travelers abducted. And the police is still on that matter right now. Not the first time that we would be having this kind of story in the news. So basically, I would like us to talk about how to keep the waterways safe for travelers. You know, we're talking safety here. What can be done to beef up security? It's water, it's not land. All right. So we have just recently, but just today actually, that the River State governor provided some utility vehicles that, you know, he gave to security agencies. Okay, not agencies, actually the police. Okay. So he presented about 100 utility vehicles to the state police command. All right. Before now, I think in the last administration, you would hear things like gunboat and the rest of them provided for maritime safety. All right. So at the end of the day, you expect that things would look up. People would be safe. But then if we're providing all of these things, it means there is already a problem in the land. And it's not just in Nigeria. It is world over. All right. So, yeah. So there is a problem on ground. And that problem is that there are people who are criminals. There are people who have decided that they will be the troublemakers. Yes, that's what they've chosen to be. And so they go out and they attack people. People are about their normal business. And some other person is lurking around like the devil and is out to attack them. And that's how at least 10 of them traveling along the Bonny-Port Harcourt waterway were abducted by pirates. It was the chairman, Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, River State, Israel Pepple, that made this known. And he also said they reported the matter to the police. And then our correspondents reached out to the police to find out if they are aware and what they're doing so far. And the police public relations officer, Grace Iringekoko, said, yes, we are aware. And in fact, the commissioner of police, Olatunji Disu, has mandated the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operations, DCP Olubenga Adekboju, and the DPOs in that area to make sure that the victims regain their freedom as soon as possible. So how do we keep the waterways safe? How do we ensure safety of travelers along the waterways in River State or elsewhere in the country? So how do we ensure that our people are free from pirate attacks, abductions, kidnappings, attacks in general? How do you suggest this can be achieved? All right. So without further ado, let's delve right into it. The numbers to call are 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0002, and 0817 923 0007, 0817 923 0007. Those are the numbers for you to call, and you can as well send me a message on WhatsApp to 0809 030 6416. All right, so a little bit of an update on that particular story. I saw it earlier today, where the police is probing suspected pirates kidnap of 10 Rivers passengers. That's the way it was put out on, the Punch newspaper. So that's the police saying, yes, we are aware and we have gotten right into it and we are investigating to ensure that these people are rescued unhurt. Okay? So while the police are doing what they're supposed to do, you as a citizen, as a human being who have been traveling or who have been observing from afar or near, what do you suggest can be done? It's the waterway. It's I mean, even on the ones on the road, we're still struggling. Where it is easy or seemingly easier to catch up with criminals. How much more on the waterways? How much more, right? So perhaps what passengers or those who intend or who are always traveling by water should know that could help them. Or what the Maritime Workers Union should also know that could help them help their people. Do we need more gunboats? Maybe that's what we need. Do we need much more patrol than we do on the waterways? Or should every boat have some kind of escort? Should boats move at the same time and, of course, with police escort? Can we achieve that for every boat? No, it's not possible now. It costs money. But hey, it's not about whether it costs money or not. We're looking at what should work, or what may work, what might work. All right? It's solutions that we're looking out for. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0007. Please don't call the WhatsApp number. It's for WhatsApp messages. I'm not taking calls on this one. So you send messages to that number, 0809 030 6416. Hello? Okay. You might want to call back if you can. All right, I have to go now for, let me see. I'm supposed to have some commercials here. And yes, I do. So after the commercial break, I'll be back and then we will continue. But for now, hold on with the calls. You can actually start typing your messages and you can actually send them. I'll read them after the commercial break. But for now, we'll have to go on that commercial break. And when I come back, we're still talking maritime safety. And we have just one focus: the general safety of those who are traveling by water. How do we ensure their protection so they're not abducted by pirates or attacked by pirates? I'll be back. Stay tuned. The headlines. River State government donates operational vehicles to police as Governor Fubara charges them to be apolitical. PDP governors slam FCT minister over threats to destabilize state party chapters. Civil servants in River State call for additional buses following recent hike in petrol price. NNPCL to sell crude oil to Dangote refinery in Naira. On the foreign scene, boat accident kills 12 off French coast in English Channel. Details in the 6 p.m. bulletin. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 080.
What are you trying to insinuate? All these people looting Nigeria's money?
This is Nigeria Info. In the heart of Nigeria.
Info 92.3.
We are Nigeria Info.
All right, welcome back. So 5:32 on the clock now. And before you know it, we're done with the conversations and I'll be saying my goodbye. All right, so we're still talking about maritime safety and we're basically looking at how to ensure that travelers, the one we just had, where about 10 persons were kidnapped along the Bonny-Port Harcourt waterway. This is incredible. And I also remember now that when the chairman of the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, River State Commercial District, Israel Pepo, was speaking about the incident, he said the boat passengers were traveling from Bonny Island to Port Harcourt when the suspected pirates swooped on them. And then he called on relevant security agencies to beef up security in the waterways to prevent attacks on the sea. So he said that 10 persons were kidnapped and some others, were still afloat in the river, waiting for rescue. That was as of when this happened. This happened yesterday morning, actually. So it wasn't a long time ago. So it's something we need to talk about. So the police already said, yes, we are aware and we are investigating to make sure that we get them to face justice. So while they're doing that, I'm asking you to suggest ways or how, what can be done. Either for the travelers, something you think every traveler, if you are always on the water, ensure you know this, it's going to help you. Look out for this, it's going to go and get this training or that training, whatever it is. Or it could be for the security agencies, or it could be for companies that, have to deal with having their people go on water. Suggestions. That's what I want. Safety on the waterways. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0002. And 0817-923-0007. 0817-923-0007. All right, messages on WhatsApp, you can send them to 0809-030-6416. And then Woike Odinaka from Elele says the River State government should acquire more gunboats to the Nigerian police force so that the marine environment will be safe for travelers. All right, so that's someone who's calling for more gunboats. As much as we're giving out utility vehicles, let's also give out gunboats. Good evening, Constance. The pirates' attack on Bonny-Port Harcourt waterway is alarming and worrisome. Let the Marine Police and Nigerian Navy be proactive and track down pirate attacks or track down pirates on the waterways of River State. Let security agencies be up and doing on the waterways with their gunboats. Owanate Clinton West. All right, I have Joseph from Abuloma. Hello, Joseph.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. Please, I that the River State government should improve and also empower the security men to always do monitoring in the riverine area. Especially the way it's taking to Bonny. I don't know why this thing is always occurring every time. You always hear that kidnappers and also what do they call it?
Pirates.
We just go there. Yes, pirates. We just go there. So to use right story. We go there and just cause things happen. Either the passengers that are traveling on the way trying to hijack the whole boat or the passengers that are there. It's not really a good report in River State. It's more often than not. You don't hear rather people being, carried away or kidnapped by pirates or whatsoever. So I think the River State government, one of the ways they should do is to also empower these security men, especially the River State government, so that they can be able to be on their feet, to do good monitoring and supervision. Then also most times check within waterways and see. Because some of these guys are always hiding in the creek. You understand? They're always hiding in the creek in between. And for a very long period of time, they just check the environment. If they notice that these persons are not on their toes, they're not doing a proper checkup, they'll just go and they strike. And after some while again, they come up again. So I think the River State government have more to do. So they let them just try as much as possible so that lives and properties will be secure.
All right, thank you very much. Hi, Muriel from Okrika.
Hi, MC. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. Go on, please.
Thank you. Look, because the Niger Delta people were really suffering, honestly. The neglect is too much. Recently, I heard they are deploying so many soldiers, to the north to protect farmers. What about our fishermen? Look, because what is happening on the sea, let's say the sea on the sea it is so evil. Look, we are just seeing it on the surface level. What is happening? Because I know someone that is so marine, those that are marine in the maritime business, those that are hiring ships and tugboats, do you know what they are going through? Do you know that they have to hire navy, they have to hire police security, they call it security, to protect their vessels. When they want to go to work, that has made cost of doing this maritime, this marine business so high. So high. So many people are going out of the marine business because of sea piracy. The kind of criminal activity that is going on in the sea. There was once I entered a boat. I was going to my village and I saw a man that would normally board his boat, enter his boat to get to the village. I asked him, what is happening? He said, no, be small, no. Sea pirates are attacking. That people hired his boat and he was going to drop them somewhere. Sea pirates are attacking. They had to jump into the sea. Even there was a security inside. All of them jumped into the sea. Because the security they hire cannot even stand the pirates. Do you know the kind of sophisticated weapons these pirates carry? The livestock, even our fishermen that go to fish, is a problem. Those that are doing this transport business, marine transport business, it is a problem. Then either they kill them or they just jump into the sea and abandon the boat for them. They will take their engine. Sometimes they just take the engine and just abandon the boat. So many ills are happening in the waterways. The Niger Delta people are suffering. So what about the Niger Delta? If they are protecting all the farmers, what about the fishermen? Constant. I heard that they gave Tom Polo a contract of billions. There was once I saw some of their boats. What do they call it? What do they call it now? And parading, with soldiers and these are gun boats. But now you can't see them again. Where is it? Where is it? Where are the people that they were charged with protecting the waterways, the pipelines? If those people are there, you see that those pirates will not be there. Because they were there, you see those people pirating in the waterways. So they will stay as pirates. But where are they now? This question calls for answer. They should answer. Where are those guns? Where are those people that are parading, protecting the waterways? This one, that question that was given to Tom Polo. Our fishermen are suffering. Do you know how much you cannot even buy fish in the village? Before you will be happy when you get to the village, you buy some fish and come back. You cannot, because fishermen cannot go again. Either they kill them or they take their boat. It is so scary. It is so high because they don't do it on the surface level. So people that are into marine business,
all right, Muriel.
Business, they are going now. Thank you, Constance.
All right, thank you. Okay, so she was asking about the people who have been those who have been given the job of maritime safety protection of the waterways. Where are they? Where are the gunboats? Right? Because I remember also, I mean, I've not been on any one myself. I've not found myself on any sea. So, but I remember vividly that the last administration, the past administration had, some of those things going on, donating gunboats to the security agencies. Oyigbo Baye Michael says the governor has done well. We will be seeing the police in clean vehicles in the days and... Okay. Thank you very much, but that's not the conversation. Conversation is about security on the waterway. 10 persons were just abducted yesterday, so that's what gave rise to this conversation. Azunda from Rumeme, go on, please.
Yeah, good evening, ma.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, you asked a question about how to maintain security on the waterway.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, I would suggest that they should partner with the local vigilantes. And also, if there's a way to fix something like a tracker, so that they can be able to track the boats when they are being kidnapped. So that will also help.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right, so Maxwell here on WhatsApp says the solution to that effect is to urge the security personnel to step up their job. And again, the government should mobilize more security personnel with more gunboats to station on the waterways. Governments have been spending money in the security budget and yet no tangible results. The government should make sure the security sector is really utilizing the fund meant for its purpose. All right, Maxwell. Thank you. So Muriel called in and she was really screaming. Do you know what those of them who are into that maritime business are suffering? And she kept talking about how there are reports of recent where military men have been stationed to be with farmers to ensure that they're able to go to the farm and come back. And I'm like, well, it's been all over the news. They've been grappling with bandits. If these guys are not screaming, how would they get help? Hello, Peter from LMA. Please go on.
Yeah, we are talking about security.
On the waterway.
Security.
On the waterway, please.
Yeah, on the waterway. My dear, providing vehicle can never and will never solve Nigerian security problem. And I'll tell you one thing. One, you cannot expect the security personnel, you don't need vehicle for them. Then, how would they manage the vehicle? How do they fuel the vehicle?
Okay, so this is what we're discussing. Peter, hold on. Peter, please, if you can hear me. My question is pretty simple. How can travelers be safe? Those of them who travel by sea.
I'm coming there. After I come out, I'll ask you a question.
Okay.
So now, you see that these people, they've used their own vehicles and manage their. So now, how can the traveler be safe? If these people doesn't maintain the vehicle, they'll rather abandon who to protect the traveler to go where they'll get money in order to clear the vehicle. So I start to get the government should, one,
you see why it's better to start with the solution first, because the question is basically about solution. Leave the problems. We know. We've already outlined some of them. Just tell me the solution. And now the network is acting. Christian Williams from Iweche on WhatsApp says this high increase of insecurities in the state, especially on the waterways, is fast becoming a thing of concern. And I think police and other security men need to re-strategize as to stop this nonsense. Okay, Christian. And someone else here says, just like planes, boats should have transponders that constantly send information about the boat's whereabouts like every 5 minutes or so. If the transponder should stop sending information, then an emergency should be declared immediately. Okay. I'm pretty sure that this transponder is not cheap. But hey, remember I said whether it is expensive or not, what we're interested in is what can be done. Some people can afford that. Some might not be able to afford it. But at least it's best that those who can afford it should actually know what to do. Because sometimes people are in trouble because they can actually afford something, but they do not know what they're supposed to go for. So unless you tell them, how can they know if nobody tells them? Right? So thank you for mentioning this transponder. All right. We're still taking calls though. And in a bit, we'll get to 6 p.m. and then we get to hear the news. And afterwards, I'll go home. All right. So, you do not have a name, sir. I like your message though, but it would be nice to give us a name. So he says there should also be a thorough background check on sailors because some of them are involved in piracy. Yeah, here we go again. It's a good one. Chinedu from Oyibo, thank you so much. It's actually a good one. But when someone is criminally minded, do you leave loopholes? Someone who's criminally minded and is coming to do a job where they know that they plan to steal, kill and destroy, they better come in prepared to lie their way through and succeed in the lie. Hello? Oh no, Gift from Emohua. All right, Gift, you can call back if you can. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0007. For WhatsApp messages, send them to 0809-030-6416. We did a report earlier this year where we're looking at some of the things that are affecting we were basically looking at plastic pollution in the water and how it's affecting fishing and, marine business. And the fishermen were talking about how, this plastic stuff is really affecting them. And maybe because that's what we're focusing on. Nobody was telling us that pirates are also part of the reason why their fishing business is not booming as it ought to. Hello, Real Gift from Port Harcourt town. Welcome, sir.
Good evening to you, LCM.
Good evening, sir.
Constance, madam. Well, the issue of sea piracy has been in the news, especially for those of us from the riverine communities. Recently, it happened in Kola axis or so, even though we had a different story at the end of the day. But the thing is this. I believe that a lot of persons make use of the waterways, and I believe it's right and the government and the multinationals look at that side of life. Is it possible for the government to look at providing better sophisticated goods for passengers from that route to fly? Because don't forget that the multinationals operating in a place like Bonny Island, they have their own boats, the standard they want it to be, and I've not heard any time that any of those boats was hijacked by sea pirates. I stand to be corrected anyway. So, what are they doing right that the government, maybe in collaboration with these people there, the multinationals, and even the local government, cannot collaborate to provide better boats and with security men, if possible, to protect this person? The Marine Police Department, I beg no vex, so don't be offended. You know what I see there exist? Maybe you are not.
They're still there. They still exist.
Are they functional?
They are functional.
If they are functional, especially on the Bonny waterways, or let's say the riverine communities.
The area is vast.
I agree with you. Then you look at it. No matter how good the strategy is, the end result is also important. That tells you that you're looking out for the lives and properties of people domain. It doesn't matter the size. We know the riverine areas in south, but you can protect persons. If the multinationals ferry their workers relations and water without complaint, how can they do it also for the other persons in that riverine community?
All right.
Thank you very much, Matt.
Thank you. Hello, Tony.
Thank you, Constant. You
Good
asked
evening.
the question how to secure the waterways.
Mm-hmm.
You see, if you're driving into all these multinational companies in the creek, they have gunboats, houseboats, standing by the entrance. So before you go in and come out, the houseboat is watching you. They would have done similar things from Bonny to Port Harcourt. Put like 2 to 3 houseboats, put military men, either the Navy or the military men on the waterways. Just like they do on the checking point in the land. They'll be seeing whoever is passing by. If you are attacking the next boat in their front, they will see you. That's what they would have done. For peace to reign, do that way in Bonny way, do the same way in that Kola Akubutor Bonny Akubutor way. You see that this piracy will stop. They pack all the military men, put them on the road from about to Port Harcourt. You see a lot of checking points. You should have done the same thing in this our river area, the creek. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. And of course, Tony is my last caller, so I'll just read messages and that will be all. Chinedu from Oyibo still says there should also be an emergency button or something that sends the boat's location if there's any trouble. Also, just like planes, there should also be something like a water radar to monitor any boat activity in any specified region. There should be a body or organization that responds immediately to distress calls from commercial boats. Well, they are there. The sea pirates move with engines of 120 horsepower speedboats. The Marine Police is not sufficiently man-powered. Way forward is to get all passenger boats with 75 HP double engines, while more Marine Police personnel are engaged with greater assistance from the Nigerian Navy. It's a message from a concerned listener. All right. Thank you, concerned listener, for your message right there. All right, let me see. We've got commercials coming up. And well, of course, 6 o'clock, the news will take center stage. But before we do that, let's see this message here on Facebook. Victor Obweri says, good evening, Lady Constance. For me, I think the only way out in this matter is by tracking down the nearby communities connected to the waterways and also collaborate with the local vigilantes, traditional rulers, because there is no way they will not know any of these sea pirates on the waterways. All right, that's from Victor. Thank you so much once again. That's it. Commercials coming right up, and afterwards, the news. And after the news, have yourself a beautiful evening. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Nigeria Info 92.3 PH for Facebook, Nigeria Info FM_PH for Instagram, and our website www.nigeriainfo.fm. You can find me, Constance Mega, on Instagram, on X, and Constance Mega on Instagram, and of course, Constance Iro Ele on Facebook. God bless you.